The wind moved slowly through the mountains. Cold and silent, an old man stood alone at the edge of the valley, his back bent not only by age but by years of loss. Each breath he took felt heavy, not because of the cold, but because memories never leave quietly. He had walked this path many times before, not with his feet, but with his heart. Every step reminded him of moments he could not change, decisions he wished he had made differently, people he once loved and could no longer reach. The mountains watched him without judgment. They had seen many like him, strong men reduced to silence, not because they were weak, but because life had spoken too loudly. He looked at his hands, wrinkled, trembling, hands that once built homes, hands that once protected others, hands that once carried children on tired shoulders. Now they carried only regret and unanswered prayers. The cold air burned his lungs, yet he welcomed it. Pain was familiar. Pain reminded him that he was still alive. He began walking again, slowly, carefully. Each step forward felt like a question. Should I continue? Should I stop? Should I finally rest? The path was narrow, covered in snow, just like life. One wrong step and everything could fall apart. As he walked, his mind drifted backward, to a time when laughter filled his days, when mornings felt lighter, when hope did not feel like a burden. But time does not wait. It never asks permission. It only moves forward. He reached a small wooden cabin. Old, broken, forgotten, just like him. He sat on the steps, letting his body rest, letting his soul speak. He closed his eyes, and for a moment, he allowed himself to feel everything. The sadness, the guilt, the loneliness, the fear of dying without being understood. Tears formed quietly, not dramatic, not loud, just honest. The night arrived slowly. Stars filled the sky. Cold surrounded him completely. He built a small fire. Its warmth touched his hands. And for the first time in a long while, he felt something other than pain. As the flames moved, so did his thoughts. He whispered words he had not spoken in years. Words of surrender, words of faith, words of acceptance. He did not ask for miracles. He did not ask for his past to change. He only asked for strength. Strength to continue. Strength to forgive himself. Strength to believe that his life still had meaning. Morning came quietly. The sky changed colors, soft gold and pale blue. He stepped outside. The mountains looked different now. Not kinder, not softer, but honest. He knelt down, not because he was weak, but because humility had finally found him. And then, he felt it, a presence. Footsteps behind him. He turned slowly. A child stood there, small, silent, watching him with curious eyes. The old man was surprised, not afraid, just confused. The child stepped closer, holding a small piece of bread. No words were spoken. The old man looked at the bread, then at the child. Something broke inside him, and something healed at the same time. He accepted the bread with shaking hands. In that moment, he realized something important. Life had not abandoned him. It was simply waiting for him to slow down enough to notice. They sat together, sharing silence, sharing warmth, sharing humanity. The child did not ask questions. The old man did not offer answers. They did not need to. Sometimes connection does not need words. As the day passed, they walked together. The old man showed the child the path, and the child showed the old man hope. Each step felt lighter, not because life became easy, but because it finally felt shared. The old man spoke softly, about patience, about mistakes, about forgiveness. He did not teach with authority. He taught with honesty. The child listened, not with ears, but with the heart. As the sun began to set, they reached a high point in the valley. The sky burned with color. The old man stood still, looking ahead. For the first time in many years, he smiled, not because everything was perfect, but because he understood something. Life is not about avoiding pain. It is about walking through it with dignity. It is not about being strong all the time. It is about standing again after falling. It is not about being remembered. It is about being present. The child stood beside him. 2 generations, 1 journey. The wind moved again, cold, but no longer cruel. The old man took a deep breath, and continued walking forward.